Hi, I'm Mr. Callista and I'm going to be showing you how to master the half grip technique in the Climb 2 on the Oculus Quest, and to do that I'll be recording some gameplay and showing you that. But first of all, just before I go into the headset, I'm just going to show you which part of your finger you want to be using for the half grip. So here's the trigger button, which is what you use to grip on to the holds in the climb. You're going to be pressing that down to grip. Now, a full grip, you've got that completely depressed and you start to lose stamina within the game. Half grip, you want to have that half depressed, about like that. And you see that you're just using the second sort of section of your finger to do that, of your index finger. If you use the top part, you've got too much flex on it, it's really hard to maintain it. So the trick is just use that second sector and you squeeze it down and ease it off as you climb. And I'll try to demonstrate that while I'm in the headset. Try and locate myself in front of the camera, see if I can manage that. So just going to go into the headset, going to be in Two Sisters, which is the medium level on Bay, and the reason that I'm going to be using that to show you the gameplay is that there's some really nice single-handed runs within that that you can only do if you're using half grip, otherwise you're just going to fall off halfway along. Here we go. So here we are in the game, and you can see that on a full grip you go into that red zone on the indicator, you're going to lose stamina and eventually you fall off, just in this case just back down onto the platform. Usually what you do to recharge the stamina is, there we go, into the full grip, you can see it depleting again, you just put your other hand down, which is fine if there's enough space to do that. But sometimes there isn't, and it also interrupts the flow of climbing if you're jumping from hand to hand. So to start mastering the half grip technique, you just basically have to look down at your hand for every single grip that you're doing, which is super slow and takes a bit of patience to make yourself do that. And you're just going to check that you're always landing on that. If you push it down too far, it goes into the red, you need to ease it off. If you haven't got it far enough, it goes into the red, you need to push down a little bit more pressure. So once you get familiar with how much pressure it takes to keep in that blue zone, you can start to look away from those indicator discs and just listen out for the signs. If you start to go into that gasping, you then can just apply or release the pressure, just look down at that indicator to show you which way you need to go. Once you start to get some confidence with that, I'm going to just add a bit of chalk there to give myself some latitude. Even when you're quite practiced at the half grip technique, you sometimes overdo it, just gives you a little bit of leeway. And you can see you can do some nice sequences on single hands. Once you get that going, you can really scoot across without the need to do a double grip, and that's going to really help with getting in some fast times. Where's my camera gone there? Well, okay, just re-chalk again. So what I'm going to do now is scooch forward to the third sector where there's a really nice shortcut on the hanging rocks and show you what you can do with and without the half press technique there, and why it's worth spending that time to get to grips with it. So here I am on the zip wire at the beginning of the third sector, and I'm just going to use my half grip to get up to the beginning of the hanging rock sequence. Just going to make sure I clip on there so I can rewind back to that point to show you again. So first of all, I'm going to demonstrate on a full grip, see how far I can get round, then on a half grip. So you can see I'm on the full grip there, and I'll show you how far you can get round on the full grip first of all. Get back halfway around and then your stamina runs out and you fall off. So I'm just scooching back to the beginning of that section. There we go, and I'll show you again on the half grip there, back in shot, there we go. So this time on the half grip, I'll just chalk up before we start to make it a fair comparison. There we go, and make sure I'm in shot, there we go, and on the half grip. And you see that we can easily get the full way round and further up into the ascent without having to stop to do a double grip or to re-chalk. So there we are at the top of Two Sisters, and that's my how-to on